So it would appear, at the very least, that this is going to be my last update. And let me just say, it has been a wild ride. When I first got on this app and created this account, it was because it was just the beginnings of the pandemic, the lockdowns, and I was bored. I had no intention whatsoever of actually creating content. But as I began to see just the extent of the nonsense people were spewing into this venue, I couldn't contain myself. And I'm a verbal processor. I really can't develop my own sense of understanding of a subject or an idea until I've talked about it or I've written about it or something of that nature. And this app was a perfect venue for that chaos of my mind, of seeing something and having kind of the little embryo of a thought, a response to it, and being able to develop that into something that was minorly cohesive. Never in 1 million years did I ever think that 13,000 people would see that and think, this is a person worth my time. For the context, the town I live in here in the Midwest has 14,700 people. This app, to me, in some ways, is as if you somehow constructed a venue for the entire population of the town I live in, put them all into one place, and they all wanted to listen to me talk. I hope you understand how historically unprecedented that is. That this app has created a venue, it's created an avenue for people to be able to have audiences that the world has never seen before at their fingertips at any time. That is very unusual, just historically speaking, and of course, it's not something I take very lightly. But it also has its flaws, its drawbacks. Like everything else in the world, it has a double edged sword element to it. And so, in a lot of ways, I'm viewing this ban as something of a gift because of the fact that I struggle with impulse control. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but I do. And so it's such an inherent weakness that I have for me to suck into this stupid device, this stupid app, instead of paying attention to the flesh and blood people that live in my life. And in this way, I'm seeing this as something of a spiritual event that's taking place, that the Holy Spirit is taking a distraction away from me personally, an obstacle for me being able to be intentional with my daughter and my wife and my church family. Yes, I've met some amazing people on this app and some really insightful, wise individuals, people that have really good things to say that I hope in the future I'll be able to be connected to in some sort of continuative way. But recognizing that the relationships, in quotes, that I have developed with those people is shallow, to say the least. It's one dimensional, not even two. Whereas the people that I live with, that I'm in life with, at my church, at my work, here in my house, those are the relationships that matter. And this is a way for me to get a pothole out of the path, for me to be able to get something out of the way that shouldn't really have been there to begin with. Yes, 13,000 people is a lot, but none of them will miss me when I'm gone. But my daughter is going to. And so it's very important to me that, for instance, when we travel, I don't take pictures of her. And my family that lives far away hates that. But I'm very purposeful that when we're together on special events like that or whatever, during holidays, that my phone is not obscuring her view of my face. She can see me, that we do things together. But on a day-to-day basis, that's not as true as it should be. It's very much so an unfortunate default instinct that if I have more than a minute to myself, my phone's in my hand again. And I'm watching videos and I'm scrolling, sometimes not even mindful of the thing that I'm seeing. I'm just not even paying attention. And I don't like that. I don't want that to be true. And so I personally am taking advantage of this, of a self-imposed disciplinary measure, or I guess externally exposed disciplinary measure. That because I couldn't regulate myself well enough, that the Holy Spirit saw fit to make Congress and the Supreme Court do it for me. And I hate that. I wish that I would have been strong enough on my own. Apparently I wasn't. So my admonition to all of you out there as a last statement is pursue Christ, follow him wholeheartedly, and don't allow things like this to interfere with your relationship with him. Don't allow things like this to interfere with the relationships that you have with flesh and blood people. Do your best, if you can, to try and follow some of the people that you've been impacted by most deeply in this venue to their other spaces where they create content. I as well am going to try my best to try and revitalize my YouTube content that is very much so laying fallow recently. Trying to produce some more kind of short form content over there, as opposed to my normal vocal chaos that had been living over there. But by just basic nature of the beast, the interactives are not as robust over there, so it won't be as consistent, it won't be as common, but I'm going to do my best. And if you want to follow me over there, feel free to do so.